Viewers, for the first time on television, the video that links Balakot terror camp to the Jaish-e-Mohammed is out. Till now, the Pakistanis had been claiming that the facility in Balakot was a madrasa. They had pointed to all sorts of ancillary evidence in defense of their claim. But now, viewers, we can tell you with certainty that this facility was a terror camp. Earlier, we had shown you, viewers, how we had spoken to the caretaker of this facility who had confessed that the facility was run by Masood Azhar's brother-in-law. He said that he was the driving force behind it. The brother-in-law, as we know, was the mastermind of the IC-814 hijacking of 1999. Now, video evidence which is on your screens, viewers, of training that was undertaken in this camp is available to us. Madhavdas Gopalakrishnan will join me in just about 30 seconds to explain what you're seeing on these visuals on your screens. Nikunj Garg also with us. Aditi also with us. We're all here to bring this exclusive to you. This is the facility. Inside visuals for the first time of the videos that have been handed over to Pakistan of what goes on inside this Balakot hilltop facility. This is no madrasa teaching innocent young children the virtues of Islam. This, as someone said in our newsroom, is a terror training ground for suicide bombers. I want to bring in Madhavdas Gopalakrishnan. Madhav, this is footage that has been accessed by Pradeep Datta, our bureau chief in Jammu and Kashmir. He has been able to pull this out from deep sources, which obviously contributed to the dossier that India has handed over to Pakistan. Describe what we are seeing.
Well, absolutely, Rahul. Pradeep has accessed this footage, as you rightly put it, but look at the manner in which this particular, footage, and it's absolutely shocking to see the kind of terror training that happens here. 4 individuals who are coming, they're running into this gigantic ring of fire, and they're jumping right through that circle onto the other side. Just look at the manner in which this is actually happening. It is not, an individual by himself. These are big groups of people running across and jumping into that entire ring of fire. Now, what exactly is happening over here? This is a camp where there is a Daura-e-Khas training given, or the 3-month specialized commando training that is given to these terrorists, and also, of course, specialized arms training as well. Along with that, this process of indoctrination, this process where clearly, of course, these individuals are shown how they need to run right into the fire. That clearly, of course, is part of the training that is being given to these individuals. And look at the number of people who are gathered around, who clearly are coming around to see the spectacle, the manner in which all of this is happening. These people, once they jump to the ring, they come running across the screen right to the other side, where again they will jump through that ring of fire and then take a circle and come right back. This is what was going on as far as Balakot is concerned, and whatever Pakistan chooses to say, whatever means it uses to try and deny that there was actually a terror camp that was there at that particular location, this proof is absolutely undeniable, Rahul. It just goes to show the kind of manner in which there was indoctrination happening, indoctrination and training of suicide bombers, as is very clearly evident from this visual that we have over here, Rahul.
Well, it's shocking, and it's no surprise really, because Pakistan has been trying to bury this evidence for very long, but unearthed here once again by Times Now. Times Now nails Pakistan again. The lies are out. The deceit is for all to see, including those who are today pressing the Indian government to press for dialogue. Anyone has any doubts, viewers, it's on your screens. The ultimate Balakot proof is out. I want to bring in Aditi as well as Nikunj Garg, our internal security editor first. Nikunj, this was all part of a dossier. Aditi had accessed some parts of the dossier, but the visuals tell a story.
Well, absolutely, Rahul. And it is actually crucial that this kind of videographic evidence that Pradeep has accessed from his sources in that trouble-torn region of Jammu and Kashmir, courtesy Pakistan, is shared with the International Committee of Nations. And I'm quite sure that when the ambassadors and high commissioners of the neighboring countries, as well as the P5 nations and other countries, were called by the Ministry of External Affairs in New Delhi post the Pulwama strike, and then post when the matters escalated a bit further post India's aerial strike on this very facility in Balakot, deep inside Pakistan, beyond the imagination of the security establishment of Pakistan, that strike took place at the heart of this facility. This is the kind of videographic evidence that is required to be shared with the entire world, because it is not as if the world is not aware of what Pakistan is doing, and it is only because the world is aware that there was a unified condemnation against Pakistan, and each and every civilized nation from Australia to New Zealand to the United States told Pakistan that they need to pull back from the terror activities, and they need to drop their backing for the terrorist training facilities inside their own territory. But other than the Americans and Russians, very few European countries probably are privy to the kind of terror facilities and actual terror training that is going inside the camp. So India has to expose that, and that expose has to be done against Pakistan time and again on all multilateral forums, all platforms that are available to India, bilaterally with these nations, or multilaterally.
It must begin with Pakistan, and this videotape is part of that dossier. I want to go across to Aditi. Aditi, you were reporting earlier today how from 8 districts of Pakistan, at least 42 identified suicide bombers were being trained at this facility. Just talk us through what goes on here.
Well, the dossier is very clear. They talk about the kind of training that is given to them. It's not only a training regarding how to deal with bombs, but they also are given psychological training. They're trained in language, how to communicate if they cross the border, what sort of training they should be given as far as complete brainwashing is exactly what happens in this particular video that has also been accessed now exclusively by Times Now, Rahul. And this becomes part of that dossier that has been submitted. The dossier also talks about how Jaish-e-Mohammed, not only now but in the past couple of decades now, has been carrying out these particular training camps. The camps also has very high-tech facilities. They have virtual walls. They also have fire testing ranges so that they can be fully equipped in using all these all the AK-47s that usually are provided to all these Fedayeen attackers. They also have units specifically to test bombs and what kind of bombing facilities can be provided to the new recruits that are the Fedayeen attackers. And also to mention here, Rahul, I'm just digressing for a minute. Even as we're talking about this, we're putting out this exclusive video. Right now, the 3 service chiefs have arrived at the Prime Minister's office. Along with that, Home Minister Rajnath Singh and Mr. Ajit Doval have also arrived. The very crucial Cabinet Committee on Security meeting to be chaired by the Prime Minister is going to begin any time from now. The Government of India has every detail of what really happens in the Jaish-e-Mohammed training camps, what really happened in Balakot. All of this became part of the dossier. All of this came from the intel inputs that the government has been working upon, and that's why the government declared that it's a non-military preemptive action taken by the government. So after the CCS, we have to see where does the government and where do our forces really go after from here, Rahul.
Well, it's very interesting. Megha Prasad, you were telling us this afternoon, and in fact about a couple of hours ago, that India is not going to rest on this so-called concession, as Pakistan has described it, of returning to us our own wing commander who was in their illegal custody. That India will give Pakistan a reasonable amount of time to act on taking out some of these individuals, failing which it might act. How far is India likely to go?
Absolutely, Rahul. And let's just understand at this stage, it's important for all of us to not forget that at the crux of the situation we are in right now, Rahul, is not the skirmish that happened in the skies yesterday. It is not about one of our MiG-21 Bison going down and one of our pilots being kidnapped by them. It is Pulwama. It is 40 of our men being martyred in Pulwama, and that is why we are in a situation that we are in today. And For that, India had asked for action on terror camps, and India stands by that. Even if you are going to release our wing commander, you had to do it anyways. As per the Geneva Convention, you would be forced and bound to do it. So you are doing it. It's not a gesture of peace. It's not a favor to India. And that is why I'm saying, Rahul, that the meeting that is to begin here at the Prime Minister's residence, which is the CCS, the highest security body of the country, post the skirmish and post the kidnapping of our wing commander by Pakistan, this committee is going to take some strong decisions, Rahul. Do expect strong words from India today. Do not think that we are going to, scale down our attack on Pakistan. As far as putting pressure on Pakistan is concerned, we'll continue to do so, because India, all that it wants right now is credible action and evidence corroborating that action that would be taken by Pakistan against terror camps. We have faced problems, we have faced pain because of those terror camps, and that is where our focus is going to be. So that line continues to be taken, and if at all there's going to be a briefing today, you should expect announcements on these lines, Rahul.
Well, Megha, do stay on with us. Let me also bring in our guests who are joining us. Maruf Raza, a consultant with Times Now, is joining us. Maruf, time and again, Pakistan, specifically to be precise, Imran Khan has said, give us the proof, show us the proof, and we will act. This is the proof we've managed to access. This is going to be part of the dossier to be sent to Pakistan. Is this going to be enough to ensure that Pakistan acts, or are we just fooling ourselves?
I think we are being a bit delusional, because proof like this and much more has been given to Pakistan over the last several decades. I want to recall a short conversation I had with the former CABSEC and then ambassador to the US, Mr. Naresh Chandra, and he said to me years ago that we have given even to the American reams and reams of evidence, but they have refused to act against Pakistan. Please understand, it's not now, but at least for the last decade and a half, America had been using Tomahawk missiles to accurately target Taliban and Al-Qaeda camps in Afghanistan, because they insisted they had pinpointed information. Obama's foreign policy was often known to be the drone foreign policy, again hitting targets within Pakistan based on very specific information, which politicians in Pakistan, as Akbar Ahmed has admitted in his book, The Drone and the Thistle and the Drone, to say that yes, they are there, but for pace saving, please don't make it so public, because we've got to live with our people. So the fact of the matter is, this evidence and much more is already available with the Americans and others because of the accurate satellite information. And I'm sure if we talk of a strategic partnership with the US, it's either been supplied to us or we've not received it, but received assurances. So the fact is, the world knows, but Imran Khan repeating the same lie again and again, actionable intelligence.
The world knows. However, what seems to have changed this time around, Maruf, and let me bring in Tilak Daveshwar as well, a former bureaucrat and author who's joining us on the show as well. Tilak Daveshwar, do you think this time around what has changed is the fact that India is not the same India of 1999? That India's stance has changed. Pakistan now has conceded that this is a very different India, and this time around, if a dossier comes, dossier after dossier cannot be overlooked. Let's not forget about the global isolation either.
You're very right. This is a very different India. The very fact that those airstrikes were done showed how much India has changed and how different India was. Because we went right into Pakistan to hit Pakistan where it hurt the terrorists. We sort of broke the shackles of restraint that we had put on ourselves all these decades. So it's a very different India. And that, I think, the message has gone across to Pakistan. That you cannot, and I hope they get the message, that you cannot fool around with terrorism with India again, because likely that India will react again and again and again.
And this time around, the reactions are swifter and they are sterner than ever before. Do stay on with us. Well, earlier today, remember, Times Now tracked down one of the survivors of the Indian airstrikes in Balakot, more proof which has now mounted. He too has confirmed that the Jaish terror camp, which was targeted by the IAF, was indeed headed by Masood Azhar's brother, Yusuf Azhar. This is what he had to say exclusively to Times Now.